trying something new today. I am currently trying to use my camera with the screen plugged in to my desktop, so that way I can actually see myself when I'm filming, although I keep looking at my face now and not you guys, so that's gonna be an issue to overcome. This is going to allow me to not have to film the video 5 times because my face is out of the frame, or because it's fuzzy and I didn't notice, or maybe it's not even recording and I had literally no idea because this DSLR hates me. But I'm here, it's Friday night, and I am just doing a check-in. I'm trying this whole daily vlog thing where I just talk a little bit every day, kind of like a reading progress update. Today is my dog's birthday. Caroline turned 2, and I will show you guys some clips and photos that I got of her today and her little mini birthday party. So we'll let that roll.
Caroline, is it your birthday? How old are you? Are you 2 years old? Are you 2? Yeah. Well, look what we got. Oh, this is nice. It says happy 2nd birthday, Caroline. Would you like this cake? Yeah. Okay, sit. Patience. Okay, patience.
I did get a little reading done in the morning. I am still working on Game of Thrones. This is this beautiful mermaid bookmark. Let me see. Where's the... No. This mermaid bookmark that I got from my best friend Jamie, and she has a matching one. So even though we don't get to sit together and read like we did when we were roommates in college, we do get to use matching bookmarks, and I always think of her when I use it. I have this much left in Game of Thrones. I just got through the Daenerys part. I don't know if it's the last Daenerys part, but it was definitely one of the most difficult to read. I already know how the ending is, but I think that I can change it if I just wish hard enough that she stopped making what I consider to be a horrible decision. But I've never been in that predicament, so I guess I can't really judge. I think that I will continue and read the sequel, even though I don't know the name of it yet. And then I will send that one off to my neighbor so that she can read it, which was really good incentive because I knew she wanted to read it, and I'd been reading it since March, so it really just incentivized me to actually read it this month, and it's totally screwed up my TBR because it's so huge. But anyway, on my phone, I am reading The Bone Witch. I am halfway done now, and I'm interested in what happens, but casually. Like, I think that there maybe is some kind of love triangle, and I'm kind of confused. Like, how does this become a love triangle? And if it does she pick someone, or is everyone dead by the present? I am very interested to see what happens with that. Not that I'm like super into love triangles, I'm just confused because there's not really any romance happening in the book. So I'm just curious. But at the same time, I'm not super attached to the book. Like right now, I would say it's a 3 stars. If it got brought back to the library tomorrow and I didn't know what happened, then maybe I would just Google the ending. Audiobooks are great for me because I get to wash the dishes or fold some laundry or work on my grocery list at the same time. And I've been really productive listening to Stardaughter, but I'm wondering if perhaps my only complaint with the book is that we kind of just jump into another scene with the start of chapters, and I'm not sure if my complaint with that is due to the fact that I am multitasking and maybe I'm missing something when it gets to the end of the chapters, or maybe because it's an audiobook, I would notice maybe some of it's in italics, or maybe there's some kind of cue that we're going to jump to the past or we're going to jump to the heavens. But I'm not picking up on that currently. So that's my only complaint. I just feel like it jumps around a little bit. But I'm about 25-ish% done with that. I will probably go back to listening to that after this because I still haven't had dinner at 10:53 p.m. I also went grocery shopping and I got some pumpkins for the front porch, and I want to call them daisies. I don't know. There was not any identification of the name of the flowers, and I am not a connoisseur of flowers. I am probably the opposite of a green thumb. If you give me a plant, it will probably be dead within a year. So don't send me any plants because Michael's currently away, and he is the only one who keeps our plants alive. That is my update for Friday. Welcome to today's vlog. I promised you I would give you an update on my crazy TBR list for October. Can you just tell that I'm an ENFJ or type 3 by looking at this? Like, it's chaos, but it makes sense in my head. It's officially autumn. I am trying to go with some like orange, phoenixy, fire vibes because next month I am taking part in the Phoenix Riders Readathon, which is based on the Crown of Feathers, Heart of Flames, and I want to say Queen of Shadows, but that's probably really wrong. But anyway, it's based off of that series by Nicki Preto. And as you can tell, I have not finished the series since I can't even properly tell you the names of the books. But it is run by first_readers on Twitter and I believe on Instagram as well. This is my TBR list. So this readathon is set in sets of 4 books to get to different levels. And I know that there is no possible way that I could read 16 books. But I am just blindly optimistic enough to give myself 12 books to try and read next month. So we're going to go with 3 levels. The first level is Stable Hand. The second level is Apprentice. And the third level is Master Rider because I am training to be a ruler of Pyra. So for the first prompt for Stable Hand, we have Welcome Wagon, which is to read a book in your favorite genre, which for me is young adult fantasy, but I stretched it a little this month to just fantasy in general. So I will be reading Into the Void by Tim Lebbon, I believe, with my best friend Amber. We are both interested in Star Wars, but we've never really read any of the Star Wars books, so we've decided to start together chronologically in one of the universes that I don't know the name of because I've only seen the movies. And yes, we're going to read that one, and if we like it, then we will ideally continue it. But I don't ever actually read all the books on my TBR, so that's probably something that I am more looking into doing like every other month instead of each month. I don't know if I could handle a Star Wars book every month. The second one is Get to Know Everyone, which is a book by a BIPOC or an LGBTQ plus author. So I picked A Song Below Water. I believe it's by Bethany C. Morrow. And that one I know is about sirens. And I know that it is a dual POV. So I am interested in that one. The third one is learn history or mythology. Read a book that is a historical fiction or a retelling. So for this one, I really, really, really want to read Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. She is such a sweetheart, and I heard that the book is based off of, or the vibes and kind of the aesthetic is based off of like Phantom of the Opera, Moulin Rouge, Caraval. Yes, so I'm really interested in that one. I heard that it's great, but unfortunately, I may have to replace this one because I just found out this morning that the book I wanted a month ago finally came in at my library, which is the sequel to Outlander, Dragonfly and Amber. That one would also fit under historical fiction, obviously, and although I would definitely prefer to read Where Dreams Descend first, I didn't discover that book until I believe this month or maybe August, and it took a very long time to get this book in at the library, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just get that and push Where Dreams Descend to November. Prompt 4 is to clean the stables, which is the book that has been on your TBR the longest. That is the one that's been on my TBR the longest is Such a Rush by Jennifer Echols, but that one is not available at any of my 3 libraries or any of their online resources. And it's not rated 4 stars, which, as I mentioned before, is kind of my criteria unless my very, very, very closest friends tell me to read it. And it's also, I can't remember the price, but it's not only a few dollars, which is basically all I'm willing to spend on an ebook that I haven't read before. So yes, I decided to go with the second one, which is The Jelly Bean Crisis. I can't remember the author, but I will have it listed over there. And that one is only $2.99, I believe, on Amazon, and I have $2.99 in Amazon credits, so I'm going to read that one. That is it for Stable Hand. If I read those 4 books, then I get to move on to the second tier or the second level, which is to become an apprentice. First is get sponsored. Read a book that is gifted to you. So Verity by, oh no, the author of Verity is Colleen Hoover. I'm going to start writing the authors down on my TBR list because I have terrible memory with this. And the second one is to own, I can spell, I can't pronounce. Own your anime skills, which is to read a book about mythical creatures. So for that one, I am going to read A Deadly Education, which is the first book in the Scholomance series, and it is by Naomi Novik. That one, I believe it comes out next month. I don't really know anything about it, except I know that I won a poll in this book club called Words and Whimsy that I am in on Facebook. So it will be one of the book club reads. So I did put a hold in on that one I put 5 holds in, 3 ebooks and 2 audiobooks at my 3 libraries on Libby, but currently I am sitting at an over 6-month wait for all of them. So assuming that I cannot get my hands on a copy of that, I will be reading The Queen's Army by Marissa Meyer. That's a novella in between Scarlet and whatever the third book is in the series. So for the third prompt on Apprentice, it was Find an Egg. That is to read an underhyped book. For that one, I picked The Ninja Daughter by Tori Eldridge. I have seen things about it on Twitter and on Facebook, but anyone that I have talked to in my Discord my Discord servers for book clubs hasn't mentioned it, and it honestly seems great. I'm very interested, and I was told that it would be a good starting point for me to get into thrillers, since I've more done just fantasy or like slice of life romances. I think the closest thing for me, I've really just read mysteries like Nancy Drew, Trixie Belden kind of mysteries. So I'm very excited to read this one, and I will be buddy reading that with my friend Miki. 4 is to incubate an egg, which is to read a book over 300 pages. So for that one, I picked Ignite Me, and that is by Tahereh Mafi. I believe that's the third book in the series. I'm really excited to see where it goes from after reading Fracture Me, the novella this month. And then after that, I'm done with Apprentice and I get to move on to Master Writer. That one, there are 4 classes that I take. The first one is Quick Reflexes. So that's to read a graphic novel or a book that's under 200 pages. For that one, I will be reading Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Promise, Part 1. Ooh, that was a mouthful. I will be possibly buddy reading that with my best friend Amber as well. A few months ago, I did start this series, but I accidentally read The Search Part 1 instead of The Promise Part 1. And apparently there's another prequel coming out that goes before both of those, and it's something about Katara and pirates, but it doesn't come out until until October. And I do not foresee myself getting that immediately unless my library decides to bless me. Next is to study geography, which is to read a book with a map. Whew, that took me a while to find. But it turns out that my pre-order from this month is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin, and this one does have a map in it. Ooh, don't prove me wrong. Okay, there we go. It has a map of Belterra, which is the world that Blood and Honey and Serpent and Dove takes place in. I believe it's based on some kind of historical France, from my understanding, but I believe that it's technically not in our world. Yes, so I'm very excited to read that. If you did get a pre-order of Blood and Honey and you sent a copy of your receipt to the Blood and Honey preorder@gmail.com, let me know if you got your pre-order goodies yet, because this book came out on 25 days ago and I still haven't gotten anything, so I'm just a little curious if anyone else has gotten their goodies as well, since I know that it's just virtual. Next is Flying Lessons. Read a book with a dragon or a phoenix featured. So obviously I have to read the sequel to the series that this readathon is based on. So I will be reading Heart of Flames by Nicki Preto. The fourth one for Master Writer, and that will be the final one of this challenge, is Bilingual. Read a book that is translated from a different language or a book that contains a secondary language. So I will be reading Lobizona by Romina Garber. And I also pre-ordered this one. Oh, it's gorgeous. I'm so excited to read it. I really liked her Zodiac series, and I still have to finish that one. I have one left. I think it's called 13 Rising. I'm very excited to read this. It's beautiful. And I'm just happy for this month because everything just seems really nice and odd to me. I'm very happy for that. And also, I've heard that both of these could be a little bit spooky, and I have wanted to read Verity since so long, like last year, maybe it was maybe Christmas time, and I have held on to it because it seemed spooky and I really thought it would be a good read during Halloween season. So I will be taking part in another readathon in Twitter next month as well that's called Trick or Treatathon. It's like treat, but the last letter T is changed to D like Delta. That's what I am planning on reading in October. I will tell you about the Trick or Treatathon next weekend, because I will also do a September wrap-up next weekend as well. There's still 3 days left. There's still 4 days left, of September, and I am still blindly optimistic that I can get some more books in. I did manage to finish Game of Thrones this morning. I still have this left, which is just like the appendix. It's just kind of talking about the houses and who's in each house and the Targaryen succession, and then just a preview to A Clash of Kings. So I honestly, this is super nerdy, but my favorite part of Game of Thrones is like the genealogy and the whole plot with who Jon Snow's parents are. I'm gonna read all of the rest of this appendix for fun. And then after I finish geeking out over that, I am going to start Crooked Kingdom. I'm hoping to start it tomorrow morning. I will talk more about what I think of this book and how far I actually managed to get next weekend. So that's it for today. Just a summary of what I've been doing a little bit this week with reading, trying to see if I like the whole day by day thing, even though I started it on Thursday. And then Caroline's birthday snippet and my TBR for the Phoenix Riders Readathon. So check back in next weekend if you want to see what my TBR list is for the Trick or Treatathon. Spoiler, it's the same books, but just for the different prompts. And I will tell you if I managed to finish all of the 11 books for September. Spoiler alert, again, I probably didn't do it. Tell me how your readathons are going. Tell me what books you read this month that are your favorite, and I will definitely check them out. And I hope you all have a lovely next week.